Hi, in today's video I want to showcase 30 WordPress blogs that have massive followings and really cool designs. And so we have a really diverse mix of designs I want to walk you through today and what makes the blog popular. So let's dig into these first. Now Vogue is a really immense brand and their website is very simple. So it's good to start off with them because it's a perfect case of the photos speaking for themselves. In fact, the design graphic you may have seen that we've put up there, the visual storytelling that we've done, is much more design work than Vogue seems to do on their website. So less is more in a case when you are demonstrating a fashion product like Vogue, where a lot of work goes into the photography. The website design should not take away from that. Humans of New York. This is a photography website which demonstrates the power of storytelling, in fact. And if you love everything to do with the Big Apple, you'll quite enjoy checking out this website. Again, very simple design as it's demonstrating some very cool photography. What I like about this website, it has a very simple call to action and it calls the stories a series. Nothing's too small, it's all pretty big and takes up a lot of space on the screen. So that's the key to a good user experience right there. Minimalist Baker. As we'd expect, the design is quite simple while we're showing off these fantastic images. And what's great about Minimalist Baker is its unique selling proposition is it only takes half an hour to cook these baked goods. And you only need a handful of ingredients. So it goes together well with minimalist design, and that's why it's immensely popular. Cup of Joe. This website has been around for quite some time, since 2007. Seems to have a team of authors that deliver curated content to the website and do a really good job of it. It's quite a magazine quality lifestyle website and a good demonstration of it. So a website like this may open your eyes just to what curated content can achieve, and it's immensely popular because of that. Gizmodo AU. This website is a very cool website. Now, one thing I did notice when I loaded up is it's got a I suppose a massive advertisement on either side of the content in these widgets saying follow us on Twitter. Like it's even got an advertisement for Gizmodo. So that's very interesting. It's very on brand. I'm a big opinion of if you have a website, you should probably just advertise yourself because no one wants to go to a website and see some other promotion. So I think it's very smart what they've done and they should know, they're tech guys. RecipeTin Eats. It's got a pretty cool interface, very simple yet effective. I like it how it's got the love heart in the menu, going my RecipeTin. So very simple blog that doesn't need a lot of maintenance for sure. Mademoiselle. The actual designs don't do them justice. I mean, we've got a signature up the top, but just the sheer amount of high quality traffic is ruined by the ad that comes off as you click on different links. Like you click on travel, then you're hit with an ad, or at least I was. But I found the ads very distracting on this website. However, it's a very simple platform with clear fonts and has got a very clear black and white theme. Now, something I am excited about, and it took to number 8 to start getting excited about a website design, is something called abeautifulmess.com. At number 8, this website was starting to get better. And why this is good, it's very simple. You've got a signature, you've got bats near Halloween, and you've got all these sort of buttons that have different color codes and goes into different sort of categories of the website, from style to recipes. So it's a tremendous lifestyle blog in how it pairs the images with big headings, and all the images are sort of themed. It doesn't break away to different sort of themes too much, and even the ad, it's not too distracting. Clean Mama. It's got style to it. It's got green. It's like more than 2 colours. Even the call to action is there's actually a bit of colour scheme to it. So the fact it uses green and shades of green too, it's quite nice. Now it's got a blocky sort of typical WordPress theme. Nothing wrong with that. It's organised. And yeah, so it's a clean cut theme. And of course we go over to the blog, which is where we want to delve into the information they've got about organising and cleaning. And yeah, it's very simple images that are clean and distinct. So no wonder this website is very popular. He spoke style. Now I must admit, I'm probably partial to a good suit. I've been informed that that a suit doesn't necessarily make you cool in everyone's eyes. So yeah, so I tend to just rock my polo shirt, even though most people in this office have a suit. So, but if I was going to get a suit and I was going to level up to mob boss, I might check in with he spoke style. So very simple image up the top, which is what you want for fashion anyway. Dude relaxing and looking prideful. And then as you scroll down, you've got a lot of different suits. I wonder where the blog is. It's just a website as such. All of these are WordPress, so they should emphasise a blog really. And this is no different. It does break things down, although it doesn't say blog, it says read, which I'm a big fan of. I don't think every website should say blog. It's a insider term, blog. It's not a term that people associate necessarily with quality. Some websites should use blog, 100%, but most websites shouldn't. So, and he spoke style lists that by saying read or guide or shop, and looking very sophisticated. This is fantastic photography paired with the content. Like, look at this full screen of shoes. You don't even see this anymore, and it's I don't know if it's parallax. I don't know. No, it's not quite parallax, but it's certainly a large element that we get to enjoy. So sometimes pictures are just too small to really serve their purpose, whereas when we want to really showcase something, we want to hit people over the head with it, and this does it well, so it stops the scrolling. It's a scrolling stopper. So overall, this makes me feel really good about it wearing a suit, which is the whole idea. Now we're starting to hit every website more reaching the capabilities of what WordPress can do, or they've simply updated their WordPress in the last 7 years. And this is another good example of the Blonde Broad, which is an interesting themed name. The blog section. Now we would expect it is a travel blog, so this is where that suits that terminology. And yeah, and it's a very bright and picture-driven content, which is fantastic. It's got really nice notes, so it's got premium notes everywhere and accents in the buttons and the separators. Everything's just a little bit cool. So ruined by the ads a bit, but that's the case with any ads. I mean, when I'm getting Kardashians on the side, I mean, it's just relentless a little bit when you have the ads hit you in multiple places on the screen. So with the latest Google helpful content update, they've actually penalised ads finally for just displaying too much and too weirdly. And you can see why that is the case, because it really does take away from all this design work when you've got these ads in multiple places. I can maybe handle one, like this one down the bottom, and block it out, but when you've got the video as well, it's just a little bit much. But overall, the blog is very nice, very simple though. It doesn't take a lot to make a blog like this. Off the mark, you'd be able to create a template like this, at least start, and a good website builder, you could probably finish up with a website that looks similar to this. Variety. This actually has a really cool ad in the background. Monkey shoulder, made for mixing. Don't be a drunken monkey. Okay, so these ads here are called a homepage takeover ad. It's like a hostage takeover scenario, almost, because they are holding the website hostage to its own design. In the case of something like this, a really bespoke design, and that it serves the website, I suppose, but it perhaps even takes away from the website. But see, a strong brand like Variety, people are used to scrolling, I suppose, with the homepage takeover in the background, bringing a bit of spice. So this is advertising done right, to my mind. The website itself, very simple. I've only got a sort of issue here with this weird ad slash thing taken over the header, so they seem to have some sort of error there. But yeah, and this is here, though I think it is an ad. It's a video ad, yeah. So see how advertising breaks user experience? I can't click even any of these top buttons. So this is what Google is coming down hard on, and you can't blame them, can you, with the latest update. But other than that, very good blog. Lots packed on it without it making it look like too much. I like it how the headings are actually like this most popular widget. It's a fair old description we're getting, so it's not just one heading which necessarily misrepresents what the content is. But yeah, we can click on that and it actually, wow, the full page takeover turned into a 5 ad special. So definitely Variety is running much more ads than they perhaps used to, and now you're just getting really hit over the head. I'd like to see this on mobile actually, but desktop's enough for now. But if we look at this, how many ads have I been able to fit on a page? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is ad-ridden page. 9 to 5 Mac. I'm a massive Mac Pro fan. I'd have to say Mac Pro but Apple Air does not survive the modern landscape of more than 5 Chrome tabs, at least in my experience. So it's not really a functional laptop to me, but the Pro is a beast of a computer. I use it all the time. I have my million tabs open, and so 9 to 5 Mac might actually start to become my website of choice, because I do really love the craftsmanship that goes into Apple products, from their iPhone to their iPads to their, the computers themselves. And for a creative, they're the best in the business. They still are. They've always had a lead on PC computers. And I know because I use them. And the only thing it doesn't have, of course, is Windows, but you can emulate it if you can so be bothered. So with that aside, my Apple fanboy plug, we've got this website here, which is very simple. You've got a nice picture though up the top. You have got a little bit of distracting ads presented in an interesting fashion, because you've got the news features up here, so they're relying on you to click on something up here, and as soon as you scroll, you're thinking this is part of the website content, almost, particularly this panel here, which is perhaps looking at my browser history. You can see like some joysticks here. I may or may not have a HOTAS warthog. I may or may not have visited Gamesman recently. So yeah, so that's cool. If you get hit with the right ad, I don't mind that at all. So that's a good thing about personalised advertising. However, overall, very simple blog brand. You're here for the Apple news, essentially, and for the breakdown. So it depends on if you like the content or not, but WordPress is serving the website well. Here, the interesting thing is I like this little contact. It's like, can I message them? But no, it's just a normal contact page. So I thought that's pretty cute. Pinch of Yum. That's a good blog name, Pinch of Yum. It's very visceral yumminess that we're after. And that's what we get. See, that's the great thing about a name meeting the website's purpose right off the bat. And we get the hype of the colourful food. Now, it should be called Pinch of Orange, perhaps, because that's what I'm really getting here. So is it all about orange recipes? And you even see the orange buttons as well. So they've taken that very deliberate sort of photo. They've themed them all up with orange. Look, everything's orange. Everything's predominantly orange. Everything. That is very interesting, why they would have decided on that. It's just... This would have had to be a deliberate choice. So I'm a fan of the heading in that there's only 4 options and a search. So if you want to get more complicated, the search is there. And this search is actually a beast. It's got I suppose, a largish light box that comes up, and we can really navigate the website all through there. So that's a better way of breaking down a menu. Someone's really thought through this website. We've got our authority bar here, just sort of subliminally coming in above the blog. This is a very well developed and designed website. They've put a lot of thought into it, so they get my tick of approval, pinch of yum. Veggiekins. So this is another well designed website. We've got, we're making use of dinner plates to showcase the different categories. And so this is a visually driven menu. And with the more precise menu being up here. Now, interestingly, they've maybe, like they have snacks here and then snacks here. They have breakfast here and breakfast here. So one has to wonder at the utility of it, apart from maybe being a adaptation for responsive. I don't believe you should have two different things, but there you go, that's just me. Now, latest recipes here, I'm not a huge fan of just having this blank template screen right on your homepage. So, but the fact it's a popular website just shows me that people have trust. They come up with some good they come up with some really good recipes. As we go down for breakfast recipes, we can see where the magic is. Okay, these are colourful, evoking images, and no wonder they're popular. And with a lot of pink tones inside of it, all the pink tone of the section background here. Not a bad footer either. The ads are okay. I'm never a huge fan of the video ad, very disruptive. However, just this paired with the bottom ad is good, or the footer ad. Okay, we've got this little love heart widget that is sticky. I find it interesting. Like the search is obvious what it does, but the love heart seems to be just for them, and it's a login. So maybe it's to love heart the different dishes. I think that's what it must be. And then it prompts you to go log in. So that's interesting. Any action which makes the user actually interact with the website and does it successfully, huge fan of. Enough websites don't try to do it, so at least they're making the attempt, even though it's a bit hard to understand. Well+Good, like the name, well and good it is. So it's another lifestyle blog, and it's talking about fitness and health, and yeah, and it's a bit of a mishmash. Like the design is chaotic, is the best way to say it, with the colours. So it's perhaps made for the disorganised mind to latch onto. And at the start, anyway, it's a solid website. We've got a sort of featured article on the left that about a mental health concern. So even though it's got an uplifting sort of theme, it's got a very menacing article. That's okay. It certainly talks about mindset. Got some reasonable advertising, not too much. That's a reasonable level of advertising. So I think they've done well with balancing that. Without me surfing the website too much, it's a bit hard to say what the website's capable of. They certainly do have an interesting element when it comes to the images, in that I can go to the different social platforms where Well+Good or Well and Good exists, and I can even easily copy the link. So they do, obviously, because they're popular, they must rely on a lot of people sharing their interesting bits and pieces, and they certainly do have a lot of articles. The Everygirl, I like it. I like the design. I really like it, and I'm not sure if I like it because it's an ad up the top. The Everygirl has a really good ad. I think it's their free premium product they're trying to push you to. So they've put a lot of work into it, and the fact is it's only the 5th of October as I'm recording this, and they're talking about October 2023, so it's relevant. As I scroll down, we've got this very cool bar and very understated article. I suppose you'd call it an article bar. So there's no images or anything there. The images are saved for only having 3 or 4 at once to not overwhelm the user. Very smart. We can see just how much design work is on these images. Very eye-catching. Look at this over here. Now, this is a good example of a well-designed and developed and strategized website. This makes me want to actually look at it, and I'm a guy, okay? So just because the way they've presented everything, it looks really nice. It all comes together. So we're going to go to the dating section so I can pick up some tips. How do women think here? Maybe a tip for an adolescent male is always read these sections, boys. see how they think, the other side thinks, and as we can see, the categories, neatly, even though the images are not the same size, it's very neat in the way it presents the disorder. It's done in an interesting fashion, so it's not too linear. I like it how the more sits exactly on the bar here. You don't often see that. So again, we have a very competent designer and developer working in tandem with a strategist on this website. No wonder it's popular. So one of my favourites for sure. Flickr Blog. It backs up the website Flickr, which makes the claim Flickr is the best website on the web for organising, sharing and storing your photos. So essentially it's, I suppose, it's partner blog, and it has a spotlight, and it's like probably gets you to sign up to a newsletter. It's got a code blog, code.flickr.com, or just send you to the Flickr code. So they're trying to be like, I don't know, a mini Stack Overflow or GitHub. So there you go. It's an interesting example of what basically a website can have another website, which is the blog in the subdomain, and it's its own thing by itself. So it can just exist to serve your fans and keep that content train happening without disrupting your normal website. Fortune. It's a business website, got very big writing. Tech is just AI now, guys, so don't even worry about it. There's no more tech than AI. So that's the way business leaders look at things, guys. So if you're in tech and you're not here, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it at all. All the business people, they want to AI you out of the world. So if you're not in AI, don't worry about it. Anyway, some interesting design elements as we go down. They put a bit of work onto the graphics design of the featured images, so that's good to see. Got a bit of art, which is always shows a very elaborate business blog. The more art they have, I like this art actually. That's definitely made by AI. So this is a Fortune.com's a very safe website, of course, as any business blog, but they do make some interesting feature images. So might be a good reference point if you're thinking of your own blog that's a little bit more serious, to see how you can step outside of being serious and still be taken seriously. And art is the way to do it. HoneyTrek. The world's longest honeymoon. I couldn't imagine myself creating a blog on my honeymoon with my partner. I think some things should remain private. However, it's a new world, a lot less private than what we're used to. And these guys have fully leveraged the fact that they are getting married or something, and they've created a blog about it. So good on them, stepping outside their comfort zone and not being worried about the future too much. They're just going for it. And and we can see one of the most attractive basically authority bars ever, which is this interactive, which is really cool. You know, they've obviously been posted everywhere. These guys, they've got a lot of PR. The fact they've got on an endless honeymoon. People can, I suppose, have a degree of escapism when they come to the site. So am I getting lost in their honeymoon as I click on the main image? You tell me, guys. It was a little bit of a glitchy transition, but we can see it pretty much ties into their social media quickly, which is not a bad thing for a website to do nowadays. Organise all the social media into one place. depending on what people like to use. So they've got YouTube and Instagram. Pretty good bet that the users are going to have one of those two platforms. So yeah, and you can just scroll down and see what they've been up to. So it's very cool. If you're going to follow anyone, don't follow your friends. Follow these guys because they're on an endless honeymoon. Cassandra Lavalle. So she's a interior designer and likes to show authenticity in her interior design. Let's see if the website matches the hype. My design philosophy. Whenever you say philosophy, then I get excited. So what services does Cassandra have? She styles. I always like a website that has a commercial function, and we can see that with interior design. It's very clean and tidy, very square of shape, which I'd consider what an interior designer would be well into, considering we like to live in square or rectangular rooms and build the house around that. So no surprise it's here rather than a circular design, I suppose, for the website. And we've got a blog here. It's interesting, it's got the Roman numbers. So everything's about that sort of Grecian tangent, philosophy. Yeah, and it ties nicely. It's almost like a wedding theme. This whole thing's almost a wedding theme. So perhaps subliminally, you're newlyweds, you're coming to this to decorate your new house, and you're feeling like spoiling yourself and getting some services off Cassandra Lavalle. Windows blog. Now, I had to balance it out. Since we had a Mac blog and I could gush about my love of Macs, I've got to be fair and give coverage to Windows. Now, Windows, I actually like Windows. Okay, I like Macs, but I prefer Windows OS. And yeah, and this talks all about Windows and what's going to happen. So it's not a bad blog to actually keep track of, rather than just tracking them on their social media accounts or what have you. If you want to dig into a little bit more developed content, I mean, remember Bill Gates did say content is king in 1996, so he understands the usefulness of content, and he would want this to be tight. So if you want to look at basically some good guidelines for what a tech blog should look like, go to blog.windows.com, and we can see just how simple and nice it is. We've got one image here, so that's interesting. Dynamic lighting is now available on Windows 11. It's got the huge image, then it's got this sort of how-to image. I'm not saying this is the best blog in the world. I like it actually. So here we go, I've got more than one image. So a very good photo up the top, or some sort of AI image, not quite sure. But as we scroll down, a very good tutorial. Yeah, premium level tutorial. Yeah, so this is how you do content, guys. In this article here, interestingly, when I click, I get like this coupon flash when I click on the element. So it's like a coupon. So this is how you can make design, guys. This is a premier website giving you a little coupon cutout on the border. Look, that's fun. I've never seen that done before. So it's a little bit of Windows spice for you there, guys. The inspired room. And we've already talked about how a interior designer is going to want a square sort of theme, perhaps, and no surprises, it's still square. She's got, I'm not too sure if this is an ad down the right. It seems to be their Pinterest. By the looks of it, they've put in the widget there, but it almost looks like the ad the way it appears on the side in the widget. Look, it's got a good, like, obviously this is a popular website, and I can see why. I just think it's a little bit busy. Like, yeah, like we could see in the other interior designer there was a lot of space. This hasn't got quite the same space. I don't mind the sort of nature aspects on the side, or accents on the side. I'm not saying it's hugely crowded, but if we go down here and start sort of scrolling, I get a bit lost, even though the pictures are big and everything like that. I don't know why I'm getting it. I think it's this on the right that looks like an ad but it's not an ad. Just sort of confusing me. It goes in the ad category of my mind. So yeah, that's my only thing. I wish that wasn't there, confusing the situation. Otherwise, we can see it's all about inspiration, which is fantastic. You can see why it links into Pinterest. Yeah, not a huge fan of this right here. When I went to My House Tours, and then I'm looking at something which looks like it's not available. So this white overlay of the photo just makes it look like it's not working. or you should be clicking on something else. I know they're doing it. They're doing it from their side so you can easily see the text. However, to me, it looks like it's not available to be clicked on. But because they're probably not seeing a problem with the page as such, because people are scrolling, because it looks like it's not meant to be clicked on. Like, and you're looking for the actual content. I don't know, some websites you just like. I do like the fact that Inspired Room comes up. And obviously it's a popular website. Some websites you like, some websites rub you the wrong way. This rubs me the wrong way, even though I know it follows that Pinterest philosophy and it's trying to be a bit like Pinterest. I think perhaps they look at the way Pinterest is, a bit of a mess, and they've tried to emulate it with perhaps understanding the strategy that Pinterest uses. Yeah, I think for curated content, you need to space things out a bit. So Wit Delight is a lifestyle blog all the way from 2014, so really from the prime area of the prime time of WordPress, and it looks like it's sort of stayed in 2014. But hey, if you've got 3 million people looking at your blog, you don't change it around too much, I'm guessing. The ads, of course, with so many people coming to the website, you're going to advertise as much as possible. Most people are going to do that, it's just the way it is. But it does, of course, impact the website. It's not the worst I've ever seen for advertising. But this one up top is quite big, and then you've also got to deal with the footer, of course, and then you've got to have these ones come in, so it's still a little bit much. This Squarespace, weirdly, it works in with the footer here, the gold on the footer. So that's one good ad. We've seen one good ad, but this one, this square ad, that baby spew green, that just didn't look good. So if it wasn't for the baby spew green ad, it wouldn't be too bad. Yeah, so this is a tidy-ish website. It's got resources instead of blog. So huge fan. Course 1. What does your in degree say? So this seems to be a bit of just a monetized blog. I'm not sure if it's really a proper blog as such. It has got top stories just through it, but we can actually not see any blog. It goes into categories, I guess, so it's got a very interesting way of browsing the categories there. It just blows it open as you click on categories. Not the way I'd organise it. I would have some sort of category bar or something like that myself. Yeah, but that's just me. I've got to book a consultation, which is not a terrible thing to have at the top of your website. I wonder what she does consulting. Stuck in a design rut. $215 US. Not actually bad rates. Not the worst rates ever. So yeah, so shout out to Kate for having reasonable pricing. Maybe the pricing goes up. But yeah, it seems to be a decent sort of ideas and interior and lifestyle blog. Seems decent. So guys, now we've had some big names, and it's interesting when it comes to websites. A lot of people ask, like, is Shopify, should I go Wix, should I go Squarespace, you know, or some other smaller platform no one else has heard of. So there's always, you know, interest in new ways to develop websites and that. But you've got to remember is, like, the social media websites themselves are built with very, very old technology, like you know, PHP or Python. You know, it's not like they're using newly built languages, and because it's so hard to hire these developers. And the same with the platforms themselves. When they're releasing their blog, they're just put it on WordPress, guys. They're not putting it on anything else. They're using WordPress as a CMS because the fundamentals are good. So if you are somehow doubtful, like should I put my blog on Blogger or Medium or what have you, no guys, put it on WordPress. Of course put it on other websites and promote it, but you've got to have your base blog on WordPress unless you want to cost yourself time or money in some ways. And so this is the third of the big three. So we've had Apple, we've had Windows, and now we have Meta using WordPress with their blog. I'm actually going to start following their blog. I think I've just about given up on Facebook advertising. I'll put that in another video. However, there's many elements of Meta outside of Facebook ads, and and I love virtual reality. So the fact that it's for people for $500, I want to explore that, and I want to keep an eye on that as they develop it out. They do have massive adoption here, the Meta group in Australia, about 75% of the market. So as a marketer, you sort of can't ignore them. There's no criticisms. It looks like Facebook. Facebook has a clean, is the gold standard in developing a UI. That's why everyone loves it. If I would criticize this design or the way they do any of this, I'd sort of be letting you know I'm not knowing what I'm talking about, because everything's data driven that they do. If there's something bad that isn't resonating, they don't do it. They do use their institutional knowledge, the Meta group, proficiently. And we can see that, we can just see how well laid out that everything is. I would say Meta blog has definitely the runs on the board against, let's say, the Windows blog. That Apple blog, I don't know if it was the official Apple blog actually. I think I might have got confused, but but certainly that blog's nothing in comparison to what the Meta blog is. This is the gold standard. So Love Sweat Fitness has 2 pop-ups that gets us. It's abs and beauty. That's okay. We want abs and booty, so let's put it in. Your location is set to Australia. Beautiful. Yes, you are correct. You beastly pop-up. Okay, so this is actually a good start to the website. Now it's I guess a beach-themed website. It's about health and about getting outdoors. And look at this. Oh, it almost looks like a lollipop as we scroll down. Feel good rewards. The way it all pops up and it's got some interactivity makes me feel really happy actually. Just having this pink there. So, but that is a little bit of creative tension. They've got the sort of blue loveliness, and then we scroll down, hit the pink. So it's a very subliminal sort of blog. Now our story, recipes, the blog itself, very clean cut layout. I think anyone with half a brain could work out the navigation for this. So that's why I'm a popular of having some space in the bar here rather than totally crowded out. This is a actual psychological element to marketing, is you never provide just too many options to people. It sort of does their head in. So and we go down. Oh, this just makes me feel good. This blog actually, they've hit this out of the park. This might be my favourite blog at all. I'm going to have to come back here and study this a little bit. Just the way it makes you feel through the design. And very simple blogging she's doing. Very cool headings. Happy reading it. 2 weeks to glow. SPF always. Kid can understand it. So as far as blogging goes, I can see why it's popular. I wish I could go this simple on the blogging. I'm always more complicated. But we might have to take some lessons. I might have to study up and get my act together, because they are hitting it out of the park. So the owners of Love Sweat Fitness would sell some serious amount of bands. I know people buy these. So this is how you make money, guys. Julia Berolzheimer. Hopefully I got that name right. So we can see as we click through the website, nice and clear cut, and some design work. We've got 3 elements. So this is a basis of website design there, not overwhelming people. You've got, say, 3 elements here with a 4th different element, and then or a broken out element. So this is made to not be overwhelming and to have some design qualities, so it's a bit different to everything else. So it's got natural design differentiation. We've got a cool ass loading screen. Huge fan of it. I'm not sure if it just should blank out the whole website in baby spew green, but there you go. It's not, at least it's got a quality sort of feel to it. As we go down to this section bar here, the favourite pieces. This is very interesting items, guys. So it's 100% a shop and also lifestyle ideas. I think that's what we're dealing with. But look at these designs. Wow. Everything is bespoke. If you're going to do bespoke, you do it all. And you love the different items, and then you get to sign up and it tracks it and sends it out to you. Guys, this is how you do websites. It's like a, it's very much a curated Pinterest with engagement that would really drive sales. This is just magnificent. If you've got an e-commerce store, this is how you organise it. The Fitnessista. So I guess a bit like a barista. So that's a funky name. This is a very popular website, so it does go down well. We've got the scroll up the top. That's an established design element by now. I like the sticky menu, but I don't like how many things I've got on it. So if you're going to have a sticky menu, you know, don't confuse the person all the way down the page with it. It's still better than an ad on the top though. So there's that, I guess. That's the harsh criticism really, because the website's quite good. I like how they use borders. So we haven't really seen that up to now, but see this border here? I don't know why more people don't use borders, to just not have everything meld together and actually, so what happens is as you scroll down, you've got this blog, that's differentiated, that's a different section, we get that, but this attracts the eye because we naturally read left to right. What do we see? Smiling face in a border. It makes you scroll down because it's a captivating image. Pink dress. Hi gorgeous, I'm so glad you're here. Oh, that's nice. A healthy lifestyle blog. So it gives you the mission statement right away, which I think is important to give your website meeting ASAP, so you make sure people aren't confused. Now, it's not too simple. These, we've seen some really simple blogs. This one's not too simple actually. It goes into a little bit more detail. So it's for the fitness guru. And the fitness researcher and that. So this is more the blog I'm used to rather than just lipstick and good feelings. But there's nothing wrong with that. This is more my... I like to even go a little bit more complex than this, I think, with the informationals I put out. But we're starting to see how you space out and deal with a little bit more information is you use borders. You put in separators, you put in an ad. No, I'm not recommending that through the content. You know, at least you break things down by steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the best thing of all, she's actually got engagement in the comments, so that makes the whole blogging work when you've got that sort of engagement. TechCrunch have a very cool 8-bit logo. Not too much of a fan of the giant ad right at the top where I suppose the best content's supposed to be, or romancing you into the website. I'm also not a fan of the absolutely giant headings on the right hand side here, demanding your attention. I mean, the thing is, when you've got headings, right, you're supposed to have a big one and you're supposed to sort of have subheadings or smaller. There's no need to, you know, have 5 things all demanding for the same size attention. I don't know what I'm talking about though. I haven't got a website as popular as TechCrunch, but I feel like they could have a little bit of a refresh on that decision right there. Just shouting it out, shouting it out, shouting it out. Now this is where the headings make more sense because you've got the shout out heading and then you've got the little blurb here. You just don't have shout out, shout out, shout out. We've got AI section, so what's going on with that? Pretty cool logo. Bit untidy. Yeah. I feel like the blog is fairly straightforward. got a few interesting elements, but overall I thought it was going to be more interesting than this for something like TechCrunch. I must admit I've heard of TechCrunch plenty. I've never actually gone to their website, and now I'm here. I don't personally want to stay. That's just me. To finish off the list, we've got TED Blog. Look, it's tidy. It's professional. You've got italics getting used properly. I haven't seen a lot of that, so you can do a lot with a font to break things up. Yeah, and that actually denotes the categories. Only 3 things up in the heading. That's good. We've got the main sort of feature stories. That's good. Safe, yes, but not overwhelming. And you can see that in TED Blog. That's sometimes all you want. You don't want more than that. And this is for a complicated audience, guys. People who watch TEDs, they're generally intelligent and thinking people, and researchers and everything. So as we can see, the blogs are quite image heavy, which is fantastic, and a little bit text heavy, paragraph heavy, but it's okay because the image breaks up every single paragraph. And if you think you can get away with multiple paragraphs, look at TED Blog for the most probably complicated user audience outside of, I don't know, a programming blog that you're going to get. This is the amount of text you can do in a paragraph, but you've got to have a good image there right away. And fortunately, TED Blog would have a lot of content to riff off. Yeah, it's something with any WordPress blog. It's all about the content, and that is photos, text, and I would argue also video. Now, one thing we haven't seen a lot of in all these blogs that are super popular is too much video. They like to curate their own content, and creating video can be quite a extensive exercise sometimes, so I understand why they mightn't use a lot of video, but I think putting video on your own website, even if it's someone else's YouTube that you do a partnership with, or trying to have some, because 30-40% of people do watch video, so I think it's a big missed opportunity. The only video I see are ads, so the video ads are probably doing quite well. That's probably why the video ads are there. People who like videos are naturally looking at those ads. So looking at all these websites, I'm not seeing a lot of video, but I just think that's because they're well-established websites and they built their brand on static images and text, and so they don't need video. They don't need another chore on the list. I believe if you're having a new established blog, you might want to look into video to innovate and overcome these older blogs and provide that sort of user experience that Google is starting to look for anyway. So I think the landscape is going to change, but there's been a definite movement in the blogging world to just get away from heaps of text to having images. We can see that with all these various blogs. And the future, that was the future predicted in 2030 by Bill Gates, none other than, who first said content is king. So naturally, people who listen to Bill Gates and have then built out and publicised blogs on the internet to make some money or build a brand, they've done the right thing, so listen to Bill Gates again. But I think he's a little bit off with his timeline. I think we're already here, 2023. Images are relied on for SEO, and in fact 2030 will be the year of video for SEO, but I might be wrong. But things are progressing very quickly in the AI sphere, and we're going to have to work out a way of reaching users in a way that attracts them. There'll always be a place for text, short bits of text. There'll always be a place for images, 100%. Images are the way to go. We're going to have hieroglyph, even it might replace text. We might have a sort of hieroglyphic website world, but dynamic interactive images perhaps is going to be what's there by 2030, but there's going to be a degree of having that interactivity, that dynamic movement, and video essentially is going to start to replace everything. It's particularly also if we're starting to head to a meta world. A lot of people have got doubts on whether that's actually going to happen, but I don't know. I think meta is very persistent and they're not giving up, and they can see the merit in it. So we might be in for a bit more of an interactive world than we think, other than just static images. But if you are going to have a blog, you can see the sort of styles and the sort of images that really work in for people. Stay tuned for more inspiring examples in the future for websites and website design. Remember, content is king. Thank you for joining us in this journey. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more.